Oh, hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Oh, greetings again. It's a pleasure to hold you again and to have you at Serious Love Letter. So, today, of all the topics, we are talking about mastering relationships. I know we have touched it a bit on some videos, on some things we talked about last time, and you even said it's the hard thing to talk about, but
Yeah.
then we touched it. So, I think just to start with, I think this past 2 weeks, I've been glued to one show that is in South Africa that I saw people being asked if they trust each other in relationships.
Yeah.
And I looked at this show, I was there like the level of toxicity, like you just there wondering like what are people doing even doing in relationships? Because at the end of the day, you look at like the people who are in dating, it's toxic.
Yeah.
While you're still looking at it being toxic, you go down to the comments. People are far more toxic there as well. Then I was wondering, like, maybe there's something they're doing wrong. And it's one of the topics that I don't even know how to handle it because, like, the Bible is a bit silent when it talks about dating, but when it speaks about marriage,
Yeah.
when it speaks about marriage, it's clear. I think one can read 1 Corinthians 7, maybe verses 1 to 15. It's very clear on when it talks about getting married, why you should get married, why you should not get married, why it would be better to not get married, and everything like that. So like that's why I'm saying like it was a bit hard for me to prepare for it. But since dating is something that we are doing, it seems, which prepares us for marriage, because like not every culture is into organized marriage. Not every culture is into marriage that doesn't involve dating. So people who are going to be dating first, maybe we should give them tips that can best work appropriately for them. And I looked into things. I was then looking at, like I was thinking like, do people break up because of finances? Do people break up because somebody cheated? Do people break up because like they no longer love the person? Do people break up because they don't love anybody anymore? Then I looked at this, I was there like, no, this doesn't look like this is the reason why people are breaking up. But people are breaking up because of like uncommunicated expectations.
Yeah.
Like people fall into relationships, but they don't communicate their expectations. But rather, what they do is they go with the flow. If you're gonna be going with the flow, I don't know what to say to somebody who wants to go with the flow. So you're gonna go with the flow. Then when something you expected to happen doesn't happen, you're gonna be mad at the person. So I don't know what you can say. Like is the main red flag for you, or is the main deal breaker for you? What can you say is a deal breaker for you in a relationship? What is one thing that you cannot stand in a relationship? If you are in a relationship and this person does it, what is the one thing that you can say is a deal breaker for you?
Okay. Thank you for having me again. This is my place now. This is my home because I've been here more than 3 times, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but still, every time with every experience is a new thing altogether, and I'm enjoying a lot. Not only me here sharing the messages, also learning because
Yeah.
we have different perspectives, we have different minds, and combining them is one of the things that I've been learning about, like the group
Yeah.
IQ and all sorts of things.
Mm.
So yeah, about dating and what is going on in our lives, we cannot ignore this thing. We cannot ignore dating. It's a step towards marriage.
Yeah.
If we are not going through the arranged marriages that you're talking about earlier, this is one of the steps that we cannot avoid in our lives. And being it leading to something of a long term like marriage, it has to be given a quite good consideration. It has to be considered. It has to be looked into in depth because it's something that eventually sets you up for what you want in a long time. That is marriage. So for me, I've also seen the show that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've also seen how terrible things are happening in our world and how purposeless we are with our relationships, how we take this thing light. Breaking each other's hearts is now a hobby.
Yeah.
We play around. It's nothing serious anymore. It's we're not even thinking about marriage when we're starting this dating game. I call it
Yeah.
a game because nowadays it's a
Yeah,
full
you
it's
can
a
say that
fully
again.
blown game.
You can
It's a
say that
fully
again.
blown game.
Yeah.
For me, personally, people call me a hard nut to crack because I look at things in depth before considering this dating thing. I have a lot, like I really have a lot. I have a lot of expectations from the person who is stepping into my life. I also need to know what they expect from me, them stepping into my life, or we trying to combine our lives. We need to share our expectations one to another if really we are going to go the same way. The Bible says um, we cannot not carry the yoke when we cannot carry unequally yoked.
Yeah.
We cannot be unequally yoked. We need to be equally yoked in other ways.
Yeah.
That is, what do you expect from me? What do I expect from you? And we combine our expectations, then we carry our yoke together. So for me, one of the deal breakers for me really is sex. Yeah.
Sex how?
If you want sex from me when we are dating or we are in a relationship, you're not married, and you want sex, we are done. Yeah, honestly, we are done.
Wait, did I see that coming?
That's a deal breaker for me. That's a deal breaker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it shows that we are not equally yoked. My vision is to carry along with somebody who is going to understand me, learn me. And these days, you guys want sex on first day. What's wrong with you guys? Like you meet a person today and they already want to jump into bed with you. What's going on? Like we haven't really gotten to know each other. We don't have a roadmap of our relationship. But already you want to undress me. We can't work on that ground. So for me, all other things I can compromise. I don't like people who drink. Okay, I don't like the drinking habit, not people, but the habit of drinking and smoking and all sorts. But I can condone those.
Yeah.
Yes, I can compromise because I know that there is room for improvement. But if we get to the sex issue,
yeah. Like you just said now, asking like saying your deal breaker it's sex. I just didn't see it coming though. I thought you were gonna say something else. But when you say this, I look at it and I'm there like you may say it's a deal breaker, but it's one of the things that is disarming us from the vision of a relationship. Once there's sex involved, the red flags turn pink. Like once there is sex involved, your vision becomes blurry about the relationship. Once you get intimate, like nothing that you wanted to do together is going to be there because now it becomes the center point of this relationship.
exactly.
And you look into this generation of ours. Once you say you want to be celibate, like you're ridiculed. You're made fun of. It's more like you're backward. It's more like you're left behind. It's more like you're missing out on something. And literally, I think one person even said to me this recently said, don't deny yourself certain things while you're still young. I said, deny myself certain things is sex, or what do you mean? And that person like laughed at me when I said that. And the thing is, like, as a person who has been engaged before sexually, I've learned how dangerous it is for me.
Yeah.
I've looked at it and I've like each time it gets involved, that's when this vision becomes blurry. It becomes the most important. It's more like it's a cornerstone.
Yeah.
And you look into our generation, you see like sex before marriage it's done more in outside marriage than it is done in marriage. And you look at it like when you look at First Corinthians 6, 18 to 20, it says, flee from sexual immorality. All sins a person commits are outside the body, but whoever sins sexually sins against their own body. Do you not know that your bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You are bought at the price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. So if there's one thing, we're not even like putting sins on scale, saying this one is worse than the other or whatsoever. But this one is said to be internal. You're doing it with the body. And this is why I think I was even wondering, like one pastor said, like if there's some sins that deprive the Holy Spirit from you, it's sexual sin and pride. Those are the sins that he mentioned, like pride and sexual sin deprive the Holy Spirit. If you continually do those sins, it's said that like the Holy Spirit did pass from you. And that's when like maybe you're gonna stop hearing a lot from what God says, because God talks to everybody and says everything. So like you look at sex and it's made to be the priority. And I think it goes back to why a person is attracted to the other person. And since we cannot learn to wait, we cannot learn self-discipline, that's why like the first thing we want to do is sex. And since we do not develop the patience, this is why we even have it in our generation that like people can be trusted. Even it's even said like men cheat. It's something that is made a taboo. Men cheat, and people believe like men cannot do without cheating.
Yeah, exactly. And
because they don't practice waiting.
yeah, it shows that we lack one of the fruit of the spirit, being self-control. And coming from a Christian perspective, as I am, I think with us rushing into all these things or sexual immorality, we really had God. Like we had Him the most. It's even a shame to be called a virgin or to be celibate these days. It's something that is less talked of. I'm glad that we can be able to talk about it here, because we can talk about how we have sex and how we do stuff all we want, but rarely do we talk about us keeping pure for the Lord, us keeping ourselves for the people who are going to marry us, and all sorts of things. It's looked at as something that is old-fashioned, like you say, so backward. You are so late. Why are you still keeping yourself this time when you can be enjoying yourself? They call it enjoying yourself, like Now, I feel like we are setting ourselves for disaster in every way possible. Because how many people are you going to have sex with before you meet the person who's going to marry you? And bringing in the issues of soul ties, the issues of you getting pieces and pieces of people being intertwined in you, because sex is more than what we think of. It's psychological, it's spiritual, it's physical in all ways, it's emotional even. So I can barely survive a heartbreak of somebody we didn't do anything. I can barely survive that. I go crazy. Like, did I just break up? I go crazy. But what more of breaking up with somebody whom you had sexual intercourse? And what more of breaking up with few or many people
that you've got intimate with? Oh, that's worse. I think you saying this, it sets up what normally we don't talk about. Like I said in the beginning, like uncommunicated expectations. People come into relationships and say they're gonna go with the flow. And if they say they're gonna go with the flow, you see people dating for more than 2 years, for more than 3 years, for more than 4 years, without any definite direction as to where we are going. We will see what happens. You see, and that's when we end up seeing people cheating like nobody's business, being unfaithful, because like there is nothing that is definite that is put down. Like I want to get into a relationship with you and marry you at a certain time, because which is what I think should happen. Because like for me, I was looking at it like when you said of many partners and everything. Like I've met good people in my life, amazing people, but I've had to let them go. And regardless of how many times I'm gonna sit down and label them and blame them for the breakup or whatsoever, but at the same time, I think like if they were not even doing those things that they were doing, was I ever did I have the maturity level to handle them at their good times, at their flawless times? Like if they were flawless, would I even be able to maintain them? Would I be able to maintain a relationship with them? Then I learned like no, I just wouldn't even be able to handle them. I could sit down and list out like why I broke up with this person, why I broke up with this person. I look at those reasons, I say like this is just immaturity. As a person who is trying to nurture being a better person, who is trying to irrigate myself, cultivate myself to be a better person, I look at those things, I'm there like, you know what? I met amazing people.
Exactly.
So like these good people were delivered to the wrong address at the wrong time. And at the same time, there's a purge that has happened between us, and there's a marker left in their lives. Now
they left a mark on you.
And they left a mark on me. Like now, some of them will come and say like, I'm not confident anymore. because this guy manipulated me. That's what they're gonna say. This guy manipulated me. This guy lied to me. This way, like, because like I didn't have direction, and if I don't have a life, what's there to introduce somebody to?
Yeah.
So like we are here messing up with people's daughters, with people's sons, because we do not have ourselves like in good direction.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that I'm there saying, like we don't even have the answers to a good relationship either. But we are saying, like, can't we sit down before we start a relationship and decide, like, because like at the same time I'm here saying people normally say I'm in a long-term relationship with this person because I want to learn them. I don't know what's there to learn about people. That has
7 years.
that has to take so long. But at the same time, I think this is why the Bible says like people should marry in the Lord.
Yeah.
Because if you marry in the Lord, it's more like you have a cushion. Because like presence of God doesn't mean absence of problems or absence of trouble. But if you marry in the Lord, you're gonna be able to understand this person, to carry each other's burdens, and love that you're gonna be having is gonna cover all the sins.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be able to communicate with each other. You're gonna be able to learn each other together. Because like what people are saying they're doing it for experience. I don't know what experience people need in marriage. Because now you become a pervert because you have learned things where it was unhealthy, you're not mature enough, and you expect them to happen here. Because you've introduced yourself to unhealthy practices. So you expect them to happen in your marriage. You come carrying this perspective that you've learned somewhere, that you expect it to be happening here in your marriage. And when it's supposed to be, it's not happening, then that's where the problem starts. You end up objectifying this person. You end up like, because you do not have your things like in order yourself, then you expect them to be happening there. And you look at that, like people are more resilient. We can survive earthquakes, we can survive tsunamis, we can survive everything. Like, but divorces and breakups are not caused by these small things that are happening to us. They're caused by, we have expectations, but we do not say them. Because talking of the show that we were watching, you said you watched too. Like you look at this person saying, "Oh no, I'm cheating with this person because he can't give me enough money for my needs." Then I'm there like, if you had communicated with this person in the first place and told them like, "No, I'm gonna need this and this amount of money," and this person, if they know that they cannot do that with you, then you can tell them that if you cannot provide for me sufficiently, then maybe I have to have the next person. Then if you say that from the beginning, then it means the person is going to tell you like, no, I can stand that, or no, I cannot stand that. But you see people manipulating and lying to each other. I'm not even talking, I'm talking about money because like everybody has their own perspective about love. I don't even know why money has to be involved in this love thing, and people providing and being husbands when they are not husbands yet or whatsoever. But I'm here saying like, if it's going to be about money for you, talk about it in the beginning. Like I need allowance, I need 4,000 allowance every month, and the person is going to know like, okay, I'm going to be able to provide this allowance. If you're not going to be able to provide the allowance, then the person has to know. The person has to know also that like we are not exclusive whatsoever. The person has to know like, okay, for me, I want this to happen this way and this way. So if we don't communicate such stuff, then the next thing we found out is the person has been dishonest. Yet we didn't communicate in the first place.
But then also through my own journey, my personal journey, the imperfect journey that I have. Okay, first of all, people must know that we are not here to judge anyone or to be holier than others or to be holier than them, but we just stating the facts of life as you have seen them, as you have encountered them in our very own personal lives. So in my own personal life, on this journey of dating or being involved with people, you'll be setting your expectations. I'm too quick with that. Oh my God, I talk. Like when we meet, the first session are talking sessions only. We talk about everything and anything because I feel like in medicine, talking is medicine to most situations. Like had we talked earlier, had we taken time to learn each other through communication, which I know your fellow mates do not love communication because, like I said, it's vulnerability. You get vulnerable before another person. You get so weak because you are exposing yourself. But it's a necessity for us to be building formal or good working relationships. So with me on my personal journey, I will be laying out the issue of no sex. I'll be like, okay, no sex before marriage. And then there will be a brother there. The brother will be like, okay, now I can take that. I can deal with that. And 3 or few weeks down the line, they wanted.
Oh.
Yeah, they want to do. They want to do it.
So they didn't think you were them about it when you said it in the first
Exactly.
place. Yeah.
And with my own personal journey, I realized that my foot was not firm enough as well, because I'll be like, okay, no sex. But when somebody touches me in a sexually arousing manner, I'll be there, just sitting there,
Yeah.
not reacting to the touch,
To the
not
touch,
reacting
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Let's go back to the drawing board. I said,
This is what we
this
said.
is what we said, this is what we agreed upon. So compromises along the way also have been something that have popped up on my own journey. I've learned through the past months that, you know what, you are compromising a lot. You have principles, of course, good, but are you really hedging them? Are you taking care of your principles? Are you hedging your boundaries?
Yeah.
Are you serious about what you said?
Yeah.
Or if somebody tries to, because I know they come with the mentality of, okay, I will eventually she'll fall back in.
Yeah.
Eventually I'll make her do it.
Yeah.
And am I firm enough to withstand that pressure?
To stand the count,
because
yeah.
you know that also as human beings, we have emotions, we have feelings. As time goes on, you develop deep feelings for this person that you don't want to hurt them.
Yeah.
When they touch you, you can't even say, don't touch me that way, because you know that you love them and you are going to hurt them. And they have a way, you guys have a manipulative way. If you say, don't touch me that way, that person will stop talking to you. The person will be aggressive towards you. And I've learned it the hard way that we really need, if you really want to set that boundary of no sex, or any boundary that you want to set, or the communication that you set on, let it be firm. Let it be something that will carry you along the relationship. And dear brothers fail along the way, because as the flesh is weak, the spirit is willing on my side, but to them it's really weak. And I realized that as well. I realized that this is my resolution: no sex before marriage. How about you?
For me?
No, I mean, I'm asking the brother. How about you?
I just got scared. Like, are you asking me?
Okay, the brother will not be stating their own
resolution,
or they won't be holding hands with me on the same resolution. But then we flow.
So they will hope you, like you fall along the way.
Yes,
they will hope you will change your mind.
Yeah, this is my view. This is my vision. But I don't even bother to ask him what his is, or if really can you stand to that. You know, and then we just flow, and the flows are dead. Guys, the floors are dead. Don't try the floors.
The flow, you better have direction. The flow is just
dead.
The
flow
what you just said, like I'll start with the one of vulnerability. I looked at myself like on the past longest relationship I had. The very first time that I got very vulnerable, I think it was in the fourth year. Fourth year. That's when I got vulnerable. Like I learned like this person doesn't know me at all. And it was a good thing to get vulnerable. I loved it so much to get vulnerable. But I think it was late.
It was late.
Yes. And I learned it was late because like now I started feeling it being used against me. A lot of things that I said, I saw them being used against me. And I was there like, was I wrong to do that? But I knew it wasn't wrong. I knew I needed to get vulnerable. Because like I was at a point where I was saying like, you know what? I want to get things in order. I want to get things to a point where they need to be. And I wanted to set a good pace for myself and everything. But there's one thing I learned as well. You talked about telling the person upfront, like not to have sex and whatsoever.
Yeah.
I've learned in most relationships that we water sex.
Yeah.
We water arousal, then expect not to feed it. Then the body, we aggravate it, we be there like the whole time, seasoning this thing, talking about it unhealthily. Then at the same time, when it comes to a point where now the body needs it to be done, we run away from it.
That's me. I've learned it the hard way.
We be there telling each other what I'm sorry to say. We tell each other one, and still want to uphold not having it.
That's bad.
That's bad for the body. That's really bad for the body. Then you're gonna be there like, okay, okay, I can't get it in this relationship since here the goals are no sex before marriage. Maybe I should get it outside. So what did you do? You had a healthy goal in mind, but you're not practicing towards it. You're not working towards the healthy goal that you have. Then that's where the problem is. You have it in your mind, you have it thrown up, you have it written down, but you're not practicing towards it.
True.
So like that's when you be there. Like I've learned like if you talk about something so much, it's gonna manifest in your life.
Exactly.
So like if somebody said, like the word says the tongue has power. There is power in the tongue. And those who love the tongue eat the fruits of it. So anything that you want to start in your life, anything, it doesn't matter what, it doesn't start with the step.
Yeah.
Like you normally say the journey of 1,000 miles begin with a step. No, it doesn't start with a step. It starts with you speaking it out. Speak towards the situation, speak towards it. If you say it, then that's what. So like now you're gonna be using words loosely about sex, about unhealthy things, then expect yourself not to do them.
Sex talks.
The sex talks, and the unhealthy ones. The unhealthy ones. That's what the unhealthy ones. Then you see the edge developing. After the edge developing, since it doesn't happen, then that's when the other first develop. You develop unhealthy practices.
Then we need to protect. We need to protect the goals.
That's what we need to do.
Hedge on them, make them protected, make them feel protected as well.
Like you should know, like there's a no-go zone at this point in the relationship. Like we don't go here. We don't go about sex up to this point. Like because like I don't know like why people feel like they need experience. Like if you feel like you need experience of sex, I think you're doing it wrong. It rather should be a discovery rather than you having an experience. Because like now if you have experience with a different person, everybody's different. So you're gonna think what pleases that other person that is gonna please this one here. Everybody's different.
And there's no one size fits all.
No, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. Every person is different. Every person is different. So you see people like speaking things that are not healthy on social media or anywhere, and you see like this is just trouble that we are putting ourselves into. Then the mind is there conceiving everything because it doesn't know what is right and what is wrong. Then when it manifests into our lives, then we want to run away from it. We want to run away from it. So like the one thing that I think is a bigger tip that we can have is have smart goals.
Exactly.
Have smart goals when it comes to your relationship. Like have smart goals. You should be specific. Be specific why you need this man or you need this lady. Why?
What purpose is he
what
or
purpose
she
is
going to serve?
Yeah. And like what purpose? Like what are you gonna be having with this person? What are they gonna be serving? For how long do you want them? So that you get to agree. And how are you gonna do that? And when do you intend to do that? That way, you win everything. Because at the end of the day, like imagine having to date for 2 years. Like you said, people tend to lower their guard. If you're gonna be dating for more than 2 years, the guard is gonna be lowered so fast. So you cannot hold yourself accountable or in control for so long. So like you're gonna learn this person in marriage, because like what I'm saying is like main normal approach. I don't think you approach a lady just without being interested in them first. If you are doing that, that's wrong. There has to be a deep interest first. You have to be interested in this person before you tell them you love them. I mean, we know sometimes we lie, but like there has to be a difference.
Ask, what do you love?
Like you have to. There has to be some feeling. There has to be something first. Then when it's there, you have to know, like have it on a timeline. Like I want to marry them in June. I want to marry them next. Like that way, it sort of even tells your mind like, okay, June is not so far. At least I can hold myself out. But if you don't have goals definite, then how long am I gonna be waiting?
So you mean I'll be waiting for 2 years because you don't even have money?
Then you shouldn't even be here without money.
Exactly.
Then have that money that you're gonna need to get married. Then come to the relationship. Because normally I listen to people say like God gave Adam Eden before Eve. Maybe we should have Edens first.
Exactly.
Before we have the Eve. That way it makes your goals more definite about the relationship. Till your garden first, then if should we introduce to a garden that is already blossomed, that already has fruits, then there has to be something that she has to multiply for.
Exactly.
Because women are multipliers, are said to be multipliers. So like that's one thing. And looking into many things like already like sexual morality we just said, like if you don't have patience,
Yeah.
you're gonna start with relationships, partner from partner. It's not gonna end there. It's gonna be job from job. It's gonna be school from school. And then you're gonna see like nothing makes you content.
And one pastor said it's preparation for divorce. Yeah, the breakups, moving from one person to the other, it's preparation for divorce.
You're preparing yourself.
Because we are not even willing to work this relationship thing out. But nobody said it's gonna be easy. But we are not willing to work it out and cultivate our ideas together, try to grow together. If you mess up, if you don't reply to my text when I say good morning and you don't respond, done. We are done. Why didn't you respond? We are done. So you are preparing for divorce because that is the impatience you're going to apply to your spouse.
Yeah.
Once they mess up or something happens, and there I'm told it's not easy in marriage. I'm told it's very difficult. So if we are not learning to cultivate the difficulties in our small relationships that we are trying to build, then we are setting ourselves for failure in marriage as well.
That's it. Like looking into this, like maybe this is one thing. Maybe we're gonna close with it because like I look into relationships, I look into fights people have, and I think people don't even know how to love.
Yeah.
Like, what is it to even love this person? I don't think people know what it is to love. Because this person will be saying, I love this person. After saying, I love this person, when they are asleep, they go around searching their phone. I'm like, what are you doing? So you are happy, you were happy today. So now you are searching for something to make you guys fight. Is that the love? Why can't you take the word of this person? Why are you in a relationship with somebody you can trust? Why does they have to be proof for you to trust this person? Like, why does something has to be proven to you? What if they deleted them and you don't find anything there?
You feel safe.
You feel safe. So, what sense of safety? Like, I don't think people know how to love each other. Loving each other and you're there like searching for things to make you fight. I don't think that's love.
Wait, what are we hiding from our phones if we love each other in the first place?
No, why are we searching them in the dark?
Can we exchange them in the open?
I think they can be changed in the open.
Yes, if they can be in the open, then there's no need to sneak around.
But the other thing that I'm saying, like, why can't we just trust each other's word?
Like, take your word?
Yeah, take the word.
And your actions speak this way?
Yeah. So, like, that's what I want to see. Because the reason I'm saying, like, why can't we take each other's word is because, like, the person is going to speak, but they're going to see their actions. Because, like, like, I want to be loved this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. So if the person doesn't do that, I think that's evidence enough. You don't even have to go to the phone. Yeah. So most of the times, people who go to the phone will tell you, I saw him starting to change. So if he starts changing, isn't it a good step to step up? Okay, a good chance to step up before you even try to cheat, maybe. You say like, no, now he was not texting at the time he used to text Ed. Now he was not doing this. Because like you look at things that are so petty that are happening and you're there like, no. Like, maybe you should have left when he started showing this in January, not waiting until it's December for you to search the phone when he's asleep. You see, so you see people having such an aggression. You're there like, is this even love though? The person you said you love so much is the one that you are fighting when they're doing something like this. Is the one that you bend with boiling water. Because like I'm there like, what's love? Where is the love? Where is the forgiveness? Where is like just stepping out of the situation? Yeah. That's one thing. So like that's the one thing I wanted to say. Like we may have not lined out a lot of tips that we could say, but I'm here saying like, can't we consider before we go into relationships? Can't we look into these things and get to have it in a definable manner before you go into it? Maybe that way you're gonna have healthy relationships.
Yeah, true.
Maybe that way you're gonna have relationships.
No, that's right. We couldn't cover the whole ground, but then the tips that you have shared so far, I feel like they are the root cause of the breakups that we have. And if we can, you just preached to me, if I can thoroughly hedge my goals, thoroughly hedge the things that I put in front in my relationship.
Yeah.
If I say I don't want to do this, let me not be a hypocrite again tomorrow and
Yeah.
encourage the thing that I said I do not
That I
want
don't
to
want to do.
because I'm now confusing you as the partner.
Yeah.
I'm now confusing you, giving you some sorts of ideas that okay,
Yeah.
no, she can actually do this.
Yeah.
Okay, she didn't want to do it in January. Now it's March. She's capable of doing this. So I think we really touched on important factors. Let us hedge our goals. Let us be communicative. Let us learn to communicate, share our feelings, share our thoughts, and let us not encourage this moving around. Can't we just stay? Let us try to cultivate our relationships because if we have purposes in the beginning, then it will be easy to cultivate what we have. Because you've agreed. If we can have meetings before dating.
There should be meetings.
Yes, there should be meetings. Let us meet, talk, discuss on our goals, see if we can bear each other's goals. If not, let's not go ahead into this.
Let's not go ahead.
You see, the meetings are important now.
The meetings are important.
If we don't agree, we don't move ahead. We don't break each other's heart. We don't encourage bad behaviors or things that we say we don't want to do. Or we don't flow with the flow. Because we have agreed and we are not compatible. So we take our ways.
Let's take our ways.
We take our ways.
I think that said it. That says it. Maybe we're gonna come back to this topic at some point because there's a lot of ground to cover with it. I think we can stay the whole day talking about this whole thing because there are a lot of things that are unhealthy. There are a lot of things that we are adhering to. There are a lot of things that the world you see pushing every time and everything, but they're unhealthy. But I think with this, let's just say it sets a count for you to know, like, what am I really doing? Think before you do it. Like, because like in relationships, it's more like people say there's life and there's relationships. So like life and relationships are two different or parallel things. Like it's more like you deal with life different than you deal with relationships different. Which is no way. Like when you come to life, you're gonna be saying think before you do something. But into relationships, you don't.
We don't.
We just do it. We speak of the flow there. I will see. We'll see
we don't
what
flow
happens.
With our careers, we don't flow with other things, but we flow with relationships.
With relationships, there has to be flow. There has to be flow. So I think if this comes to the end of our episode, we will see you in the next episode, and thank you.
Thank you.